Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Cosmonarchy casting stream. We're going to be looking over some matches today. The bulk of them should be related to the Weekendwage, and after that I think we'll probably branch out and do some 1v1 casts that I just haven't gotten around to doing yet. So I'm looking forward to that, and I am also looking forward to welcoming new homies and old homies to our next Weekendwage. Weekendwage is our bi-weekly event. That means in theory, since it just happened yesterday, it would happen in 2 weeks from yesterday, which would be the 12th of October. But on the 12th of October, I'm going to be going away on a vacation. So we're going to do it 1 week earlier, which means it's kind of a weekly thing now, but just only for this one time, I promise. That means that I will see you guys on the 5th of October, 1 week from yesterday, 6 days from now. In our Discord server is all of the information you need about the sign-up, so I highly recommend checking it out because it's epic. Very epic indeed. I think I have to go ahead and ping everybody about it, so I will go ahead and do that. That means that if you already got pinged, you'll get double pinged because I accidentally made it a private thread and I don't want to do that again. So there you go. Perfect. All right. I'll see you guys on that. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. If only more non-Terrans joined, says Shopkeeper Dog. Yes. We need more Protoss players. Oh yeah, Lord, oh yeah, return to us. Yeah, that's Shopkeeper Dog. So he's of course. You know, I kind of feel I wonder if Dog will ever play Protoss in an event just for the sake of it. You know, like he could have just signed up yesterday as Protoss and probably won the whole thing, but maybe he would have lost PvZ, I guess. He probably would have lost to Zeke. He only knows PvT. But if there's only Terran players, it's an option. It's an option. All right. I'm going to go ahead and get our Gamba underway. I've pinned the link to support the stream. If you want to support the stream, you want to support show matches in the future, we got to pay off our show match debts, and we got to keep on keeping on when it comes to funding additional show matches in the future. So definitely check that out, because Euthermal waiting in the wings. He's going to go up against Indy. That'll probably be something for another time. Probably like, I don't know, maybe early October, maybe after the vacation, it'll be late October. We'll see. And yeah, it's always a good time. So if you want to see Euthermal play Cosmonarchy, I suggest you donate. That's a good idea. All right, let's get into our game and let's begin our Gamba. That's that link, by the way, streamlabs.com/Coronago. Let's do it, boys. We got Grass Eater and Daedrid duking it out in our first map. And of course, it's on goddamn Crisis Vector. Crisis Wage. I guess we gotta institute a situation where we have a gabillion maps, and you can only pick your map. You have 2 map picks. You can only pick the same map twice. That's it. After that, you got to pick a new map. I don't know, something like that. Because Crisis Vector got played the majority of the games here. God damn it. Shout out Jujic one time. He's also the match admin of this match and many others. I'll catch you guys for some more action later on as well. But let's first talk about the fact that we've got Grass Eater in the bottom right. He is our... Ooh, I actually don't know what color this is. I'm going to say mango, but it's Goldenrod Zerg. And in the top left, we've got Daedrid as the... Oh, this could be Alice Blue. This could be Glacial. This could be Maya Blue. No, it's Alice Blue. Oh, it was Electric Blue. I never would have guessed that. God damn. He's putting his stockade at the wall. That's cute. We don't see enough walling in Cosmonarchy. I like that. After I fell asleep, I had a fever dream that a player named Grover joined this tournament and didn't lose a single game. And that player was named Zeke. Oh wait, spoilers. Actually, he has to go up against a lot of Terrans who are pretty reasonable versus Zerg, so I don't know if that's true. But that would be my speculation. Although if we do get a Titan named Grover at some point, that'll be pretty good. It'll have been a... You know, he's just 1 week out. Somebody quick, hit him up. Rename to Grover for one tournament. All right, we got... Daedrid, by the way, he's provided us with some pixel art, some corpses that are in the game. Eventually, we'll have like model-based corpses instead of pixel art-based corpses. But he's done them. He's made them up. He's done them out. So shout out to him. Let me think off the dome. He did the Wraith, the Goliath, the Shaman. I think he was starting on the Matador, but he hasn't finished it yet. I can't remember. I swear he did more than one. He did something else as well. But anyway, he's a cool guy, and so he's joining us for a tournament. It's kind of like when Solstice plays. You know, it's like one of the artists. You know, if Delta played in the tournament, you know, something like that. So, pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. I will definitely see you guys for more games with the contributors. That's for sure. I always shout out the contributors. That's what you got to do. When you can't pay them, When you can't pay them directly, you got to pay them in exposure. So those Zethar cores did indeed get funneled through here, which is pretty nifty. I wonder, is this actually airtight? This is probably airtight, but I wonder if this is. That's pretty cool. Obviously, the bio themselves have to funnel through. But that's its own thing. A treasury expand. Hold on. Is Daedra cheesing? Who knows? Grass Eater. Obviously, a pretty cool guy himself. Has been playing a lot of games under a lot of accounts. Sometimes he goes under I like to eat grass, and then other times he goes under I like to, with 2 O's, eat grass. And, you know, he thinks I don't notice. Or maybe he himself doesn't notice. I don't know which. But either way, I notice. I see everything. Just because I don't comment on it doesn't mean I don't see it. Unless you're talking about a drop that I missed. But I don't know, man. I gotta be honest, I don't miss nearly as many drops as some prominent casters in the space. And one of the reasons why is that Cosmonarchy has much better replay support. You know, it pings you when there's a combat. You know, Starcraft Remastered could never. Totally could if Blizzard gave a damn, but you know. So this is kind of a weird setup here because we have the rally points facing outward. So the Cyprians are all kinds of messed up. If they ever need to scramble behind the wall, that's going to be a little bit of a difficulty. Oh, he's going for an anvil. That means he's going to need a covenant pretty soon. This anvil is before he has any nuke tech. Dude, what? You got your son, you're going to need some more Vespi. Now I understand why he went for the fast sieve. So he wants to nuke. I dig that. His opponent is going Zorkish Shroud. Grass Eater will be adding some Lakis and some Zoryus. He's got a lot of Quas, which are not by themselves very scary. Honestly, Harakan Cyprian can joust with Lakis decently enough in the early game. This isn't really that difficult or dangerous for him, but it does depend on your unit control, right? Also, he's making a Vestry and not Covenant, so I have no idea how he plans to use this anvil. He's making the... He is... This is, what is this, mutually assured destruction, right? He's like, I've got nukes, don't fuck with me, okay? Meanwhile, he has no way to use them offensively. Daedrid is the modern day Iran in many ways, you know what I mean? Alright, so, Lakis and Zoryus moving across. We got plenty of Quas also splaying out. Shaman, Cyprian, loads of action there. Officially more than Iran now with an actual nuclear warhead. Iran could never. We've got loads of Lakis. We got loads of Zoryus. I don't know. I guess I don't really see how Grass Eater plans to take this fight. It really does depend a lot on how positioning goes. And his Shaman is here for deployment detection. Hold on. It feels like Daedrid's going to be able to hold on to this easily enough. Although, oh no, the Shaman was in range. Well, that's a little bit awkward. Zoryus will still end up going down. Now he's going to cycle back with the Cyprians. Those Lakis weren't really damaged. Well, he's only making pure sip. Hold on. Is this game going to end with a defensive nuke from the controlled demolition into emergency detonate? No, okay. Sorry, guys. I started to dream a little bit too big. Expansion only now coming down here for Grass Eater. By the way, Daedra does have superior worker counts despite a treasury expand. He's making a star pad for the detection, which makes a lot of sense. How is he going to paint the nuke? He doesn't have a Covenant yet. And he's making so many Cyprians, I can't imagine him actually having enough Vespine to do anything else. Now, we do not have any more frontline. The Zoryus are waddling across the map now at the very least, so there is that. Okay, well, he's got a Cleric as well for a little bit of healing. I guess that will help out. The Antseal needs to be in a really good position, though. There's really not much anti-air. I don't think Grass Eater can do anything about it. Now that the Antseal is here, the Cyprians really shouldn't have any problems, and they aren't even on a follow order, so there's no way that they won't just attack, right? Hydrogen on the way. We've got another stockade finally under construction. Antseal, of course, sort of moving forward, and I love this little positioning here. He snipes one. He even is going to clear out one of the Zoryus before it can really do much of anything, which I think is super good because, you know, that's most of the front line already gone then. Half of the front line gone. 2 more Zoryus on the way. Grass Eater, he's saturating his base. He's got the worker lead. He's been grinding out. That's why his army is so small, and I think he might even be thinking about taking a 3rd base here. Yeah, there it is. Heading over to 6 o'clock, or 7, however you want to call it. Single Wraith has been made. I see some idle Masons, that's for sure, but I also, I don't see a Covenant yet. I see almost 2,000 minerals. So Daedrid, my homie, what are you planning on doing? Is Zethar chasing Wraiths? That's like a dog chasing cars if the cars could fly, and the dog was Anakin Skywalker in the first prequel movie. Or no, it was the 3rd prequel movie. Didn't that movie make no sense, guys? I mean, I guess it made more sense than the sequel trilogy. But I try to pretend that didn't exist or happen. Third base halfway complete here for Grass Eater. 11 Hydras on the way. And we've got the Covenant finally on the way. You know, he made the nuke like 5 minutes ago. Well, maybe not quite. Because I just got the Iranian death threat, and that was only 3 minutes ago. Well, we do have a lot of Zorius now. I think Grass Eater has figured it out. He's even got his anti-Wraith positioning. Hydra's coming out as well in big numbers. Does he have a ski backed? No, he didn't. It was just right there in front of my face. I was looking for a ski back, though, not a Hydra then, so that's why I didn't see it. He's also making some Agroleths. Oh, boy. Are these them? Yeah. Look at them. Look at these goobers. What are they going to do? Throw their head at you? The answer is yes. Making some static defense with them. Gonna go ahead and bust these power generators down. Wraith coming back in. Doesn't want to reveal itself to... Oh, finally we got some frontline coming for Daedrid as well. And here it is. This is the nuke move. You can tell because there's going to be a Trojan load this Eidolon in. I guess the Wraith can do like a bit of a spot check for where the enemy units are so that the Eidolon can get deep. Problem is that there's pretty good spotting already for Grass Eater. I can't really see... it making it happen. All right. We got loads of Lakers. We got loads of Zorius. We got Chembeka in the chat. What's up, dude? We got Hurakans. And the nuke drop is going to be attempted. There will be a Quaz that catches it. And there's an Agroleth as well. I really can't imagine the Eidolon being the way to do it. I feel like you'd want to use the Eidolon on one of these underlying bases that doesn't guaranteed have units. He's waiting. He's waiting. Maybe if he like lets the Trojan borrow the Wraith cloak real quick, he could do it, but that's not possible in the game, so. 12 o'clock is going to be hammered down by some Lakes. Scouting with your Lakes up a cliff, like blind ramp checking is face checking the ramp is really funny to me. Like if there were units up here, those Lakes would probably get owned. And they're pretty expensive and a pretty pivotal part of the attack here, the army. Both players floating a ton of minerals. But, you know, it's a little bit more justifiable as Zerg since you have Larva. Oh, he pulled away the Agroleth. There might actually be a chance. Well, here comes the attack. And at the same time, the Wraith moves in, but not the Eidolon and the Trojan. The Ancials storming the front gates. Their armor rended. They're gone. Goodbye. No further detection. Oh, wait, no, it's got 12 health. Oh, there it goes. It's dead. But the Cyprian stack is so numerous. How are they possibly going to do a damn thing? Meanwhile, the drop is good. He hasn't noticed. Maybe the nuke will get off, but the Cyprians are being shellacked, and I don't think he's going to have anything back at home. He needs to paint that nuke. Not on here, but over here defensively. Otherwise, he's going to die. Quick, arm the anvil so it blows up the Zerg army. It looks like we might get the nuke off, and Grass Eater hasn't noticed that it's coming down on his face. Zerg there in the past. But there goes the anvil as well. And it does look like Grass Eater will take the game. At least we had a nice little highlight moment. Hey, the Eidolon saved itself, too. That's pretty cool. Well, you traded main for natural. Unfortunately, your third base never got up. Your fourth base doesn't exist. And you have no army. Well, he's got some units over here, I guess. GG is called. Daedrid got his nuke off. Mission accomplished. He wins in spirit. And Grass Eater takes the game. That's pretty cool. I wasn't expecting that game to go that way, that's for sure. But at least we got some zany commentary in, guys. All right, so what are the matches that we did cast? Let's go ahead and resolve that question right quick. We have ourselves an exciting start to our broadcast here. Okay, we have Grass Eater moving on to face Zeke. I can't remember if we casted that game or not. Did we? I think we did. Yeah, we did. We casted that one. And then in the other upper match was Hanmono versus Newt. We casted that one as well. Hanmono got a rogue Cyprian, deciding to take treat the ramp like a treadmill, but never go anywhere. That was after the game was basically resolved anyway, but he hung out for a little bit longer and then died. What else do we have then? Newt walked over I Am the Weed of God because the latter player was not able to make it. We casted the Godwheat Microgreen game. Microgreen feels like a really difficult name to say really fast. There's like a little bit too much Microgreen. All right, and we have Godwheat versus Grass Eater. Okay, so we just have the lower bracket games and then the last 3 best of 3s to cast. That makes it a little easier for me to track here. So, yeah, so Grass Eater made it over Daedrid, and then he lost to Ziki. That means that he's going to go up against Godwheat. So I suppose we can probably cast that game next. We can keep our Zerg player involved. That was going to be Lim 2B. Oh, no, it's also on Crisis Vector. Ah, jeez. Grass Eater. Crisis Vector, Crisis Eater is not a boring map. It's very epic. But, you know, if every game was played on Roaring Currents in ASL or something, it would get old at some point. Okay, here we go. A best of 1 between these two players will definitely prove to be interesting. Gamba is started, and here we go. Grass Eater in the bottom right of Crisis Vector, the underdog against I Am the Weed of God, who chose this map. We have ourselves a Zinwaldite Brown Terran, and Tomato Zerg. There you go, full color guess action. Well, we don't actually have a ladder right now, Spheroid, so I don't think that's going to be the problem. It's just that we allow the top seed in whatever match to pick any map from Class 1. The players themselves are the ones picking it. So it's not like it's a randomizer that's bugged and always picking Crisis Vector. I guess what we could say is maybe each player has eventually, you know, when we have like the UI for this, we could say that each player has one veto.
I am a hero!
Oh shit, somebody's a hero. Nuclear lunch detected. You see that, Shambler? I wonder, Godwheat... Dude, there's no way Godwheat could have known that he got nuked. Amazing. So, anyway, we got a bio opener here for Godwheat and a pool opener for Grass. Bog standard so far. Stylistically, Ziki's been really enjoying Hydrith openers because they kind of forced Terran off of bio early on. But I did really like what Newt did in the upper final, where game 1, it was on this map, of course, and we had, what do you call it? We had this cute little situation happen where Newt did mech open with vultures. He opened Fulcrum, and then he went into bio after that and got a lot of like bio and then Doom dropped. So it was kind of out there as far as the play goes. Pretty interesting. Mavericks by the Pick a Partner sponsor sign. Classic move. You guys want to move somewhere in and around the eastern seaboard? Check it out. But yeah, I was thinking about some kind of UI in-game or in-lobby where you veto the... you put one veto in, and your opponent puts one veto in, and they don't know what veto you put in, so you could veto the same map. And then it just randomizes between all the available maps that are left over. Godwheat could have killed that Zeth, but he really did not want to slow down at all in his charge across the map. He's kind of hitting at a pretty good timing if you think about it. He's got... oh, hit stop. Damn. They lost the will to keep marching. Never mind. Hi. I definitely don't want to have the players sit through like a huge pick-ban lobby. Why are we killing this? Get our Droleth back? Ah. Abandoning the pressure, I see. He could build a hatch. He has the money. But he wants to save his money for what the Shroud, I guess. Shroud units. So here comes the drop. 3 Hurakan, 5 Maverick. That's pretty deadly. Expansion coming down for Godwheat. He should be totally safe because, you know, Grass Leader can't really get to the other side of the map right now. So the only question is the timing of when that shows up. But yeah, I don't want to have our players be like in a position where they feel like what they have to do is go through a very lengthy veto process all the time for every best of one. So that's where I'm thinking it'll be just an automatic randomizer, and that'll be fine, right? Drop comes in pretty hot. There's definitely a lot of worker damage being dealt, but it is versus Zerg. Oh, the Lakis is going to die. I can't believe Grass Eater didn't burrow that sooner. Or use his quads to try to deal with the Hurakan. Yeah, he's just going to call GG. I don't know if he had to, honestly, because he had Lakis coming, but I guess that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very quick game. Godwheat just kind of egoing him out. That's, by the way, that was the lower bracket game. That's Grass Eater eliminated. That's another reason why I would think maybe you don't want to GG so quickly, because that's it. You're done. You're out of here. Not at all how I thought happened. That's a rest in peace for Grass Eater. A rest in peace. The Tomato Town Massacre. Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. Well, we got to switch over to the other side. We're going to be casting some TVT, and it's going to be on the very same map. I told you guys, Crisis Wait. All right, so this is going to be On Mono versus Daedra. If Daedra tries something cheesy, Hanamano does seem to be very greedy. He does eco cheese a lot, it feels like. So, I don't know, there's something there where the upset could be done, but I think you always would say probably unlikely. Yeah. Photoshop will never not mystify me sometimes. Alright, lads, Gamba is going up. We got Shambler in the chat. What's up, dude? On Mono in the top left is the Forest Green Terran, and Daedra in the bottom right is the... Ooh. Periwinkle? Periwinkle Terran, there you go. Nobody typed GLHF, so it was hard for me to guess that. Hanmono plays a lot of SC2 Evo, apparently, so... Terrans shouldn't pick Crisis Vector, not good enough TVZ to justify TVP. Well, I think you would be able to change what veto you had in your, like, each map, right? Daedra did do a nuke rush. It was a bit awkward. I don't think it's going to kill Hanmono. He's going Fulcrum. That's already an adaptation. His game against Microgreen, he went for Bio. He went for Cyprian Expand, both games versus Microgreen, and then Newt. And Newt was able to just defeat him with a mech opening, pretty much. He then did a Cyclops drop, an Anchor flyover. It was bad. It was ugly. It was hard for Hanmono to recover from that. By the way, this is our final best of one of the Weekend Wage. We've got 3 best of 3s to get to after this. And whoever wins this matchup will face I Am the Weed of God. So either way, we have a TVT lined up. Hanmono is going to go for a Vulture into a Star Path, some kind of drop play planned. But once again, we have that double stockade on the wall here for Daedra. I feel like overall, I guess this is kind of vulnerable to drops, but I mean, usually you're not going Cyprians with this, right? Usually you'd be going like Mavericks. so that you can stim to respond to stuff or whatever. But I don't think a vulture is going to be able to do anything in this situation, so there is that at least. This will honestly look pretty similar to... I mean, it wouldn't be double stockade or double barracks in StarCraft 2, but Hamano is probably going to look at this and think, oh, you can wall in this game? I'm right at home! And immediately he goes for an expansion. This is a pretty smart play, because what you want in this situation, you know your opponent is like doing this kind of defensive play. You don't know if they're expanding, but you know that they're not going to pressure you anytime soon. So you can probably get away with the Ministry. And Hanmano knows how to get away with Ministries, dude. Let's be real. It's one of his best things. One of his favorite things to do. Treasury expand yet again, the allowing another stockade to be made. I guess there's some tempo that you can argue for, but versus a player who's building with a Ministry, yeah, you're going to fall behind in workers. You're going to need to get some worker damage dealt. And look at this. Newt did the 4 Cyclops drop to Hanmano. Hanmano will now do the 4 Cyclops drop to Daedrid. And there are some Hurricanes here that can really tear shit up versus a Cyclops if they're backed into a corner in an awkward drop zone. And the Vultures, well, Vulture Singular can't actually do anything here because of the wall. So honestly, it doesn't suck for Daedrid, but he has no idea the drop is coming. It's basically guaranteed to get some damage. What he needs to do here is grab all of his workers and pull them over to the mineral line in the main base, and then put like 2 Cyprians here and the rest of his army up the ramp so that he can try to intercede. Oh, looks like he's actually going to unload in advance, and the Trojan is going to be coming with the army. Okay, so he's not just going to commit them to the attack. He is going to reserve the right to get some more damage. Oh no, he doesn't know about Friendly Splash. He is going to kill his own Cyclops. Or is he? Yeah, he is. No? Not, just barely not. Ah, dead. Yeah, honestly, he didn't kill that many Masons compared to what I thought he would. Good response from Daedrid overall. Hurricane now adding a little bit of fear. Good pullback as well from Daedrid. Yeah, he's not capitulating completely. Ah, you only saved 1 Cyclops. How are you going to do any pressure with that? Mason's immediately returning to the new base. That should also probably confirm to Hanmano that there's an expansion. He can at least think about it. And now we've got a quarry instead of an anvil, which maybe makes more sense. Here comes another drop, though. 3 Cyclops. We've got Cyprians and a Hurricane nearby, but the Hurricane's pretty low, so... Come on, Daedrid. Get after it, boy. No, your Masons, they're dying. Save your Masons. Oh, there's so many more Masons dead this time. He can kill the 1 up here, I guess. Every kill counts. Oh, here comes all the bio, though. No! Well, that died. Whatever happened to the other one? Did it make it all the way back home? Oh, it did. Hanmano adding another Fulcrum. He's just making consistent Cyclops production, spending down some of his bank, and he's going to go ahead and repair the Trojan, and probably the Cyclops that is at 4 HP as well. This is the kind of event that would really pop off if we had like 16 people sign up or whatever. I look forward to when that's a reality. As a reminder, you can already sign up for the next one. It's on the 5th of October, 1 week from yesterday. Good Watchdog placement, but I do still think that Hanmano will be able to unload if he wants to. It looks like he doesn't want to right now. Looking for any gap in the defenses. And it's a little bit awkward for him right now. Palladium on the way. He's got an Anseal coming up. More Vultures in production. Maybe a bit more of a standard fare army. And remember, Daedrid has less workers than his opponent. He's got Talos coming to try to make up the difference a little bit, but unless he puts down like 2 more treasuries and commits a lot of his resources to the flying workers, he's going to be hard pressed to do much of anything. 12 HP on that Trojan. Very, very dangerous to linger around. He'll probably send it back home and for repairs. But his Palladium is done, so he can just go for Phalanx now if he wants to. Looks like the answer is yes. Oh, I thought they were... He's saturating his ridge. Hasn't done that yet? Tisk, tisk. There's the repair order. He's got his 3rd base being set up. Talos making a treasury. in the distance there. It's funny. I think Hanmano probably could have gone for some kind of hard committal killing blow, but he doesn't know TVT quite as well as he knows, I guess, TVZ. Decent numbers of bio, but how are they going to get out to face down the mech army? I mean, there's phalanx coming across. He doesn't have any Trojans to hot drop. I'd love to see, like, Hurakan drops on top of the phalanx or whatever. I think this is going to be an open and shut case here in a second. Now, I say that. Daedrid is moving out at a pretty opportune time, but his army is kind of split, right? He's a little bit bifurcated. He needs to link up everything. He's got so many units over here that he's not really actively using right now. Oh yeah, so many down here. If he was consolidated in one spot, I could really see him doing some good damage, but it looks like right now he's just going to guard his base over here, which is funny. Well, now his front door is being knocked down. Knocked on and knocked down. Come on now. What's your reaction? We got anchors. Could lift the stockades to pull them away a little bit. And it's going to be pretty hard. I mean, random mine as well helping out. Well, the Cyclops versus the Cyprians looks competitive until it isn't. He does end up breaking the front phalanx, but there's so many more where that came from, dude. Oh, man. I admire the bravery of charging into all of this splash damage with just pure Cyprian, and I bet everybody else does too. That went a lot closer than I thought, but Daedrid still has to call GG. He had a lot of money in the bank. He definitely could have had more units and try to overwhelm with pure bio, but that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Hanmano takes the game, and it looked pretty simple for him, too. But shout out to Daedrid and Microgreen for playing, even though they exit in last place, that, I guess, joint last place or whatever. That does mean that, by the way, you can say the same about Grass Eater. He's not exactly dead last. He did score a dub over Daedrid, but he's out as well. And that leaves us with our final four, our prize winners. We've got Ziki waiting in the grand final. We've got Newt in the lower final, who will face off against the winner of Hanmano now versus I Am the Wheat of God. So let's check that one out, I guess. Damn, we've got TVT until the end. Then we'll have a TVZ. That's pretty wild. At least you know. At least you know that Terran will win this game. Ah, where else would we go? Hanmano has selected Crisis Vector for the first game here. We'll go ahead and get our Gamba up on Twitch. We have... oh, Kasuga was in the lobby. That's not right. We have Jujik adminning here. Hanmano in the top left is our turquoise. No, eggshell blue Terran. That's a cute color. Godwheat in the bottom right is our... blood Terran. Shout out Jujik for adminning in my stead. This is about when I had to pop off and go to work yesterday, so I'm glad that he was able to cover. South Korea's internet is pretty damn good, Godweed. I don't know what you're on about. Canada, on the other hand, I don't know about that one. Isn't that kind of what Korea is famous for, is having really good technological infrastructure in Seoul? And also Busan, I think. Anyway, I don't know enough about Korea. Maybe Dog can confirm. We got Fulcrums on both sides. Godweets is slightly faster. Maybe a bit more optimized of an opener with his resource allocations. He's going to go ahead and scout, though, so... Scouting with a worker makes your money a little bit less. Don't listen to Weed, he's Canadian. Thank you, Sauce. I will remember that. I saw that is it St. Bellarmine or something like that? I forget how to say his name. Yeah, St. Bellarmine. He seems like a pretty cool guy. He's very pleased with the way Cosmonarchy plays and feels. Oh, okay, all right. We already have a little bit of a divergence. So it looks like Hamada wants to try this Vulture into Cyclops drop opener that Newt did to him. And then we have a double Falk from Godwheat, and he scouts the star pad. So he is aware. Like, is he going to be able to enjoy that thoroughly? That's the question here. His brother is Aeud level without the Cosmonarchy knowledge? Holy shit, that's pretty good. I wonder what he'll be like with the Cosmonarchy knowledge. Well, the Vulture trade is not going to work out so well for Hanmano as he bowls directly into a mine. He's going to expand behind it. And it looks like he's going to go for the Trojan after that and then make some more Cyclops for the drop. This does make him very vulnerable, particularly with that Ministry. With 4 Vultures, Aeud can definitely get some good value here. Only hits 1 Vulture with that mine. Amano needs to be thinking about defense here, I think. I don't think you can make this drop happen, to be honest with you. Even if he does, the Vultures can rain in, and reinforcements from the double Falk can probably clean the Cyclops, rather. I don't know. That's a pretty good mine hit. That's 1 dead Vulture. But he doesn't have any more mines. So, and he's making more Cyclops as well. So that's kind of interesting. Oh, he's going to load him up. He's doing the gambit, but look what we got. We got 5 Vultures coming in. Oh, and he's going to fly right over it. Oh my god, dude, you need to cycle back. Yeah, absolutely. The Vultures are now going to descend upon him. Unless he does drop micro where he loads up the Cyclops that are under attack, I think he's just going to get shellacked here. Oh, body block is working out okay. Friendly splash cancels the anchor out. That feels like a mistake as well. Does Godweed have much else? So Watchdog for the anti-drop. He's got 6 Vultures back at home. Hold on. If he just decides to send them across, it's over. Yeah, I think that too, Jujic. That nuke was good. That was. I hope we see Daedrid like sharpen up a little bit, because if he does nuke stuff, I mean, he'll be really fun in FFAs, that's for sure. People will be very upset. More Vultures where that came from. And more Watchdogs as well. Cyclops are repaired up, and he's going for the drop with nothing at home. This is his second attempt when he's got literally, like, what, 1 Cyclops? And here come the Vultures. Turn around. Turn the drop around. Turn the drop around. I don't think that's going to work out very well, my friend. That's too many Vultures. Ministry on the way as well for Godweed, so, I mean, Hanmano can airlift his, but he just doesn't have any units. He's got one Cyclops. Oh, it's dead. Goodbye. GG is called. The minefield gets laid down as a way to say, get out of town. And that is a wrap for game 1. Well, I kind of expect Godweed here to win this. I didn't really give you guys predictions for a lot of these matches. I did say that, like, Daedrid was the underdog. Maybe he could cheese or whatever. But yeah, Godweed taking that game, it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me. And the reason why is because I just feel like he's got that instinct a little bit more aggressively. A little bit more knowledge as well. And he's not a bad player. And I'm not streaming his game live, so he doesn't choke. You know what I mean? Let's see if Hanmano can restore balance to the Force. We're going to be going to Acid Test. Gamba up. And we have Hanmano in the top right. He is our Saddlebrown? Saddlebrown Terran. Godweed in the bottom right is our Maya Blue. No, Arrow Terran. We'll see what Hanmano wants to do. It looks like he's going to go for mech opening yet again. Godweed seems to be planning on the same sort of ordeal there. You can tell that he's got this his build order dialed in a little bit more. But he will scout once more. Acid Test is a port of Litmus. It's one of the maps out there in the ASL right now that Really, its calling card is having extra Vespene in the main base, but we did not carry that through in our port. I think its layout is still pretty neat, though. One of the things I was debating doing when I was thinking about whether or not it would be fun to carry over the gas thing is give them like 4 Vespene ridges instead of 2, a geyser and a ridge. Or maybe 3 Vespene ridges would be the same. Yeah, I think if you go 3 Vespene ridges, that'd be roughly equivalent to like 2 easily depleted geysers. As equivalent as it gets in Cosmonarchy anyway. But obviously there's like a bit of a different thing going on. Like in StarCraft 1, Protoss can gas steal super easy. So, Godwait scouting out, sees that the Fulcrum is making, and he is going to make the second Fulcrum. The Vulture is probably not going to deny that scout. Oh, is it? Is it? Hold on. Yeah, he sees it. Easy. That's pretty clunky. Eventually we'll make it a lot easier, but just letting you guys know, he saw it for sure. Third Fulcrum. Yeah, Hanmano is not interested in losing to another Terran player. If Ziki beats him in the grand final, fine. But he's going to make sure he gets revenge on Terrans. I like his Fulcrum Starpad opener, but I do think that going for the Ministry afterwards was a bit too greedy. He is just going to make Vulture for now. A little bit of a trickle of mines up the spine of the map, I guess. It's Godwait to make the star pad first. Cutting Workers is our Korean pro. I'll never forget when Hanmano told me that Cosmonarchy is much better than he expected, and that he wants to be a pro in Cosmonarchy. What a cool guy. We'll see if he can do it. Godwait getting ready for his expand. 10 vultures already. I love that he's pocketing some of them as well. Informational warfare. That being said, we do have the star pad finished, and there will be a drop. Vulture drop, though? It's not bad. You do need four vulture shots to kill a Mason, by the way. TVT worker harassment is rough. Good mines as well to at least detect. If Godwait decides to unload at the Extremis, which sometimes he does... Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, Hanmano is not going to bother defending. He is just going to move across the map with his own vultures, which I honestly think is kind of based. Is he going to pinch back up? Or no, he's like, no, I beat you. Battle workers! Well, I think Godwait's dead. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I think he's dead. I don't know how Hanmano would possibly not just run him over. He's got 17 vultures, dude. And 16 of them are on the front lines. This is way too many vultures. This is every StarCraft 1 TVT right here. Vulture Wars. GG has to be called. Godwait has no defense. He is done for, dude. Even though he rendered his opponent almost obsolete when it comes to the worker count, it's just too hard, man. How do you beat that many vultures? Mines don't give an audio cue, so if you don't see it on minimap before it blows up, then it's easy to miss. They don't give you like an under attack sound. Is that what you mean? From which perspective, I guess, is what I would ask. Because if they are attacked, they will give you an attack sound. All right, lads, here we are in our final game. Gamba up. And it's going to be on Dyadic Shore. On mono in the bottom left is our Japanese Violet. Japanese Violet Terran. And in the top left we have Godwheat, our... I don't know what color this is. Light olive? Beaster Brown Terran. Okay. Oh my god, Godwheat is doing something cheesy. Where's he going with those? He's double proxying. Is it going to be Stockade, I wonder? He's not got no Vespian, so... Oh, it's probably Anchor. He's probably going to Anchor float. Like Waypoint Mavericks over there or whatever. Well, dog, they're not under attack, so I don't know what audio cue... Like, I don't really know what you mean by audio cue. I guess you're probably meaning notification. But obviously, sound effects do play. So I'm really not sure what you... I have no idea what you mean, to be honest. Amano's going to go for a Cyclops drop again, it looks like. No, it's a second Fulcrum. He's just hiding it. Oh, it's a double proxy Stockade. What? I think I would have liked the Anchor float better, but, you know. I guess it makes sense if you send 2 Masons, you're probably doing this. You can airlift over here and then just kind of Waypoint Ahmed in, but are you really going to be able to hold up against all of the vultures? You need, probably double Anchor and then some kind of wall here. Yeah, minimap awareness is a skill. That's pretty good. Oh, he's making... Is he going to Anchor? He is going to Anchor. I think it's probably best to just float these over. I'm going to be honest. I almost like what Godwheat is doing, but he's like... It's like he's baking a cake. No! Never mind, I hate what he's doing. Ahmed's blocking the way! I can't finish the Anchor! It's done. Yes. Yes! Yes! Now I like what Godwheat is doing. Hi. Land on the mines! Dude, what is he doing? Where is he going? Ah, you don't have any anti-air. I can just float this away and say bye. Oh, that's dirty. That doesn't feel... That's amazing. Well, he's going to kill a couple of workers, I guess, maybe. No, not really. He just... I can't believe it, dude. Wait. Is this what Canada exports? The vultures just leave. They're like, yeah, whatever. I'm gonna go kill this guy. Battle workers. What is this? You can't beat him. He's Korean. Say GG again. Oh, it's brutal. Hiding in the Anchor. More vultures dispatched. I mean, I guess if he staffs the Anchor... Well, he has to stop this bleeding, though. Hi. I can't believe okay, now it's GG. LOL. Alright, it looks like Godweed has been defeated and Hanmano will. What a game, dude. What a the preemptive GG and then going, wait. That's what do you even say? How do you even Is there anything to say? That's a really good question. All right, guys. We're going to go to a different reality now. It's going to be Newt versus Hanmano now. And I am looking forward to that. Because Newt is the top seed, he picked the first map, and you're wrong, shopkeeper dog, it's Punch Drunk. Hanmano in the top left is our green Terran. Newt in the top right is our platinum blue Terran. And he's going for that gas mining early on. Hanmano in the same way. Big dollary dues. Oh, I have to advance our goal by $5 because Godweed made it to 4th place and then donated his winnings. I was really hoping that he'd win the whole thing and then I could advance our goal by $20, but such is life. The pros always take the money and run. So we know that about Hanmano and we know that about Ziki. And Newt, I think he usually takes the money as well. This time he did say he was going to take it, so. Godweed really failed me more than himself there. Newt is going to be opening up a mirrored build here. They're sharing the top half of the map. See what they end up doing with that. Looks like a scout to the top left from Newt. He'll find his opponent first. Sometimes it's kind of nice for you as a player to just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna always scout the same way, no matter what. And it looks like that's what he's going to do here. Now, when he comes in here and he sees only one fulcrum, he should look around the base and find the second fulcrum, right? Like, no way, no shot he doesn't. There it is. Found the second fulcrum. Hanmano responds by building an extra one. Just now I was imagining a world where like I'm imagining a world. Oh no, this is a dead vulture. Oh, you clear all 3 mines. That's all right, honestly. Unfortunately, he had a mine left, so it could have been better, but clearing all 3 mines isn't bad. I'm just imagining a world where, like, Ascozi workers can build on corpses to get, like, a discount on their structures or something. That's so niche, but I don't know. It could be kind of cool. That's probably more of a blood summon thing, if I think about it. They're going to be able to sacrifice their workers to advance their production rate by, like, 10 seconds or whatever. Man, can you guys wait until we have 2 different races that consume workers to make structures and thus need some sort of offset for that? I was kind of thinking, like, maybe Blood Summon will just have more cost efficiency so they need less workers. But I don't know if I like that idea. That's basically how Zerg... It's kind of how Zerg work in Starcraft 1, right? It's a little bit different in Cosmonarchy, obviously, but... Hey, what's up, Godweed? Oh, he didn't choose Crisis. Yeah, that's right. He chose Acid Test in the last game. Anchor on the way here for Newt. It seems like we're getting into a pretty stable game. Both players. Oh, I thought Hanmano was expanding. He's actually just pocketing a dozen fucking vultures. So never mind. This is pretty well defended, choke point over here. So 16 vultures. I mean, it's still pretty scary. We'll see what Newt wants to do. He's going to get advance notice, so he knows that the attack is incoming. He's got his own vultures. He's got 2 Cyclops. He's 4 Cyclops total. He's got 6 Cyclops total now. Nothing in production right now, though, so let's keep tabs on that as the vultures are going to come on in. Good initial absorption of some of those mines. Hanmano's looking all right here. Charges one in. That's not so great. Where's the splash damage? The Cyclops need to be focused down here. That needs to be top priority for Hanmano. He's kind of spreading his damage out, but we got more vultures screaming on in. Well, he's going to be able to deal with a lot of those Cyclops, but at the end of the day, there's still vultures with mines. No, I guess one singular mine left over. Really nice anti-drop mines all over the place for Newt, and also for Hanmano, to be fair. It looks like maybe Newt was thinking about... I mean, he's just making Cyclops in general. Maybe he wasn't thinking about anything in particular for that. But he's got the same amount of fulcrums now, so Hanmano doesn't have the advantage anymore in production, and the Ministry is up for Newt. So because he didn't break him, this suddenly becomes a lot more favored for our blue Terran. However, Hanmano can still kind of cycle back into this. It's just that he's abandoned Vespene mining, he's abandoned Mason construction, he's super all in right now. It doesn't feel like he's going to be able to overcome the tech and economic deficits. We got double star pad on the way for Newt. He loves his wraiths. He's going to make a watchdog just in case. Oh, well, that's no good. Yeah, those mine hits were glorious. I don't think there was any way he was overcoming what Newt provided here. But those mine hits absolutely guaranteed it. And with the star pads scouted as well, and the economy looking as good as it does for our Platinum Blue Terran, I think Newt's about ready to take this. And I think as the last vulture in Newt space falls, Hanmano's got to face the music. GG! We go to game 2, where Hanmano will select a map. Nah, who am I kidding? He's going to select Crisis Vector. I don't want to leave you guys in suspense or anything. All right. That means that Newt will take game 1. Cool. Now, are we going to see a redo of the same thing? Is Hanmano just going to try that again? Because honestly, I kind of feel like versus some Terrans, he'd get somewhere with that. But is it going to be here? I don't know. I do not know. Let's rock and roll, baby. Crisis Vector. One more time. Maybe there will be another one in the next series. Ziki likes to pick Crisis Vector too, so I guess that's probably quite possible. Newt is our Dark Lavender Terran in the bottom right, and Hanmano is our Vermilion Terran in the top left. Both players getting some Vespene, so that does indicate very, very nice, very easy peasy lemon squeezy stuff. Guess what map you're banning? Well, you can't ban in Weekendwage, but you can ban in the Tribunal stage, so there is that. I was debating adding some more maps into the pool and changing it up from the last Tribunal, but I think we're just going to copy the map pool over. We might change it for the third Tribunal, because we're not going to have one in October, we'll have one in November, so there will be a little bit more time and stuff, but we'll see. We'll see. By the way, guys, I didn't really talk about this publicly. I was only doing this as it pertains to donors. But the current plan regarding Ascosi is to try to deploy them over the course of the next half a year or so. And what that will turn into is a... well, it's going to be an interesting situation because... by half a year, I meant the next rest of this year. Sorry, that was definitely not... The next quarter. So we're basically planning on having them be... playable fully by like December, you know, maybe a Christmas present, so to speak, or maybe mid-December, so before Christmas. And y'all will be able to play with the Ascosi in that context quite a bit. They're, you know, by then their tiers 1 and 2 will be fully furnished, and their tier 3 will be at least like halfway complete or whatever, so, you know, playable, right? And the thought process behind that is we want them to be competitive ready by the time January rolls around, because we want people to be able to play as a SCOZY in the January, February, and March tribunals. So there you have it. That's your little opportunity there. We got vultures coming for Hanmono, no surprises. Newt rocking it out with his own vulture setup. How many players will switch over to a SCOZY when they come out? I do wonder. I know Doglived wants to. I don't actually know if I know any others that are likely to do it. Like, Shambler said he's bracing for all of the players to play a SCOZY, and so he's just going to stay on whatever race that is, like, the least played or whatever. I know that... Alexander wants to play as the SCOZY. So there's that as well. There's a couple players I'm aware of that are going to play a SCOZY mostly, but... we'll see. Great Minds here for Newt. Great Minds, stun alike. I don't know, something like that. More vultures here for Newt than for Hanmono, so he does have to cycle back. A star pad on the way. Good little mind snipe. Remember that vulture is really low, so leading with it is a little risky right now. More vultures back at home for Hanmono. Man, I can't wait for that vulture model to come out from Solstice. He's working on the remodel. Looks nice. More Cyclops where that came from. We got Starpad. We got Anchor. So what's Newt going to do? Is it going to be... I guess it is going to be the Cyclops drop. There you go. It's going to be a single Wraith before a Trojan. Third Fulcrum added late for Hanmono. He wants to get up to his macro. He's going to go ahead and get his expansion up. Much better Mason count for him than the last game, and certainly better than Newt right now, who looks to be taking a late expansion himself off of just the 2 Fulk and the Star Pad. Why has he made the Wraith, I wonder? Exploratory Mason. Laying some mines out here in the Extremis, getting the Ministry down. Clearing some mines at his front gate. Very nice. And a Palladium is on the way for Hanmono. He has not made a lot of Phalanxes in this particular matchup. I know he played like Phalanx Savant forever versus Shambler on Potadea that one time. Wild game that was. Right about now, I feel like Newt is behind in a considerable way, but he's banking all of these Wraiths. And there isn't any anti-air right now. Starpad for Hanmono is going to go for Anseal. It's actually pretty good. It'll clear mines. Maybe he'll fly it into the base and see the Wraiths as well. He's got some good mine laying, but they're for anti-drop, not for anti-air. Not that you would lay mines for anti-air, but... you can kind of do stuff like that. First couple Phalanx rolling down the cliff. Yeah, this actually looks pretty good for Hanmono. The question is, like, how much damage do the Wraiths deal, right? And Wraiths are pretty good versus Sieged Phalanx, because they lose all their armor in Siege mode, but... we'll see what's up. We'll see what's up. Idle Masons for Newt in the natural. We'll see him fix that in a moment, I'm sure. Adding more Fulcrums. Oh, just one more Fulcrum for now. And the Wraiths are hugging the left side. It's only 5 of them. That's still a pretty good amount of damage, to be fair. Now the Wraiths strike. Hanmono, no! Queued up a couple of Goliaths, but he has no other anti-air. Worker count only now Oh, he actually canceled out everything and went for madrigals. Unsieging the phalanx is a good move because it's going to take way longer for the Wraiths to deal damage to them with all the tank mode armor. He's losing a lot of stuff. He's got a lot of vultures and phalanxes. If only he channeled his inner versus Godwheat move and moved across the map right now, I think he could actually do a lot of damage or threaten a lot. Watchdogs will... Oh, no, only one of them finished. He didn't restock this one. Oh, my God. Newt is doing way more damage than he should. Here come the madrigals. Feels like right about now, I mean, I can't imagine these air units doing much more damage with all the madrigals out, but the problem is that they did so much economic damage. Ravaged Hanmano's economy. Newt's kind of out with some vultures, but has he bought enough time dogging the ground army? Is Palladium only now coming up? Again, he has the superior economy for the time being. Yeah, Hanmano is over-indexing on trying to deal with this air threat. He could just move down to the bottom. There goes down one of the ant seals. Some more wraiths. Wraiths are still being made by Newt. And Hanmano has just been frozen in the middle of the map, trying to replenish his stonks. He's actually fought back when it comes to his economy. Quite well, I would say. But more fulcrums coming online for Newt, and most crucially, he's got phalanxes on the way. Wraiths are stacking up still. You got phalanx on the high ground. The detection went away, so you couldn't actually see. Oh, no! Do not get so close to those phalanxes, that's for sure. One madrigal goes down. Trying to set up a third base, it's going to get intercepted by the Wraiths. No anti-air nearby either. It's just vultures being made. He's got two madrigals. Oh, that's some pretty good salvo from the phalanxes. Oh, nice! 3 tanks going down. Well, Newt's under the pump a little bit now. Wraiths are going to snipe that one Mason, but nothing too problematic there. Clears the last of the mines and slinks forward. Antseal could be a little bit more protective of those phalanxes, it feels like. Newt tries to pounce. Can he actually break through this? There's still 5 phalanx, well, 4 now. I guess there's way more for Newt right now, so... He's got the closer reinforcement point. He's got 5 phalanxes being produced as we speak. And the Wraiths once again descend, but there's madrigals where that came from, so you can't stick around forever. Although he's very well split right now. Great micro from Newt. He definitely knows how to use a Wraith. I would have thought that's overstaying your welcome, but Newt definitely showing a little bit more of what's possible with him. The Antseal Phalanx war to try to absorb some of that damage. It's definitely not what you normally see in TVT, but I think it's quite interesting. And there it goes. The last of the Phalanx is broken here. They're both on the same base count. Oops. But also the Wraiths have been doing so much damage to everything else that... Oh, the Antseal going down is kind of big. Madrigals will clear this position of all the Wraiths, finally. Well, I say all of them. I guess 2 do indeed live. Now, Hanmano bracing for impact now. The shoe is on the other foot. A big phalanx crawl across the map. A couple of them will actually just go for a defensive measure as the third base is established by Newt. He says that he's a macro player. He likes this kind of stuff. Well, he can tech up to tier 2 now if he wants. This went from Hanmano looking like he had this game, as the tier 2 does indeed come down for Newt, to Newt looking like he's going to punch his ticket straight into the grand final versus Zeke. Another best of 3 on the line. And in only 2 maps. This is our longest match today, I think. And it's fitting that it's a TVT, but you know. Really hard, I think, for Hanmano to break through here. He's going to go ahead and deploy his madrigals in the forward. Honestly, he's getting a lot more value than I would have thought. But still, very hard for him to make it happen. And here comes the big deployment and the big salvo from the phalanxes down south. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. And there it is, lobbing him over, reducing his mech count quite a bit. Third base being made not on location. Hanmano humbled in that respect. Goliaths coming online now. Hanmano never makes his ministries away from the base. He always builds them on location. Oh, the humanity. The Hanmonity. The Hanmonoti. There you go. Atlas on the way. Nearly complete, actually, for Newt. He's making a single Valkyrie. Just to splash down those ant seals, you know. Kind of makes sense, actually. Here we go. It's going to be Starport. Triple Starport from our Lavender player. Arcing up the map to make sure nothing at 9 o'clock. He's going to confirm that indeed the third base is only now being attempted to get set up. That does give a lot of room over to Newt if he wants to try to entrench. Maybe even knock down this natural for some kind of trade. We definitely favor him as he has the extra economy quite a bit. Double gas base as well on the low ground. In theory harder to hold, but he's got the map control. I love this phalanx positioning. One of them will end up getting sniped. And the high ground is a possibility for Hanmano if he decides to use it. Will he decide to use it though? Deploying the Madrigal, trying its best. He's only got a few of them. Yeah, not able to deploy them all in time. For the phalanxes make quick work of them. The Goliath's just trying to keep the vultures at bay for a bit longer. I love the deep Madrigals. That kind of prevents the vulture dives. Still have only 6 phalanx for Newt, but that's more than what Hanmano's providing right now. There we go. Trying to equal the count. Newt getting a little fancy with his mines, but it doesn't really help him out that much. 2 phalanxes in the middle of the map. 4th starport was made. Now Gorgon's on the way. It looks like a 4th base might be in the cards for Newt. Adding a 6th fulcrum to the mix. Hanmano is not interested in tier 2 yet. And he doesn't have any Vespene being harvested at this third base. His ant seals are going to fly over and reveal what's happening here. Newt, though, very likely to lose some of those ant seals if he's not careful. There's the shellacking. Good save with his own ant seals there. He's actually going to only lose, 2 phalanx for that? That's a very, very good trade to knock out 6 from his opponent. But again, it's about what's happening as this is going on. Tier 2 is being leveraged. We got plenty more mech units as well. We just don't have much of any anti-air there. Paradoxically, he ends up losing a lot of his anti-air while trying to keep his phalanx count alive. He is making a lot more Goliaths. He seems to know that what he needs right now isn't pure phalanx. His air superiority is being assembled by Newt. These 2 wraiths still pocketed up in the top right. Might be useful for scouting later. The vulture's guarding the top right base. Yeah, all right. Let's see what Hanmano wants to do as he crawls across the map. Feels like he needs to double expand here and really iron out his worker production, but he also needs to endure versus the Gorgon stack that's being formed. And he can't really do anything on the map right now. Not with how far back he is. If his army was across the map, it'd be a different story. Obviously, Newt has chosen a much more defensive posture, knowing that he's got the tech advantage. And look at this, he actually just transfers workers from his depleted base in the main and builds a treasury here. This is an underrated tactic, I think. One that definitely Newt seems to be one of the few players doing it right now. I think I've seen Oya do that as well, but obviously you can't build a treasury as Protoss. Unless some very interesting things have happened earlier in the game. Vultures are going to be cleared out. They got some pretty good outsized impact, even forced Hanmano's army all the way around. That's a bit of an unforced error. The Wraiths link up with the Gorgons. What's up, hit 'em up? It says, no Maynarding. It's not allowed. Only build new ones. Well, no need to oversaturate your depleted bases, that's for sure. I guess it's like an ego thing. Like your opponent scouts your main and sees 40 workers on a depleted base where only like 6 workers would be required. And they're like, shit, man, this guy's beating me like this. Well, the air seems to be content to sort of wrap around. We do have 3 watchdogs here that might be able to stall off long enough for some anti-air to finish up inside the main base of Hanmano. He's only got 3 Goliaths in the production pipeline right now. Yeah, that's I mean, the Gorgons can win that fight, but do they want to? No, going after the Palladium is pretty good. Oh, Hanmano just canceled all of his almost complete Goliaths to make Madrigals. And that is a very, very, very bad move. 2,000 minerals in the bank as well. Not the most efficient play. He's got to walk into this entrenched position in the middle of the map if he wants any chance at effective counter damage. Meanwhile, Masons and the Natural are getting absolutely shellacked as the Gorgons and the Phalanxes continue to press forward. We got DeWalt showing up with a huge raid just in the same time as Hanmano, our South Korean pro from Starcraft 2, is trying to break the lines. He's got Madrigals on that Anseal stack. All their shielding starting to collapse. Newt has even produced a Trojan in the process. Honestly, that's a lot of splash damage going down. It looks like the lines are too deep. And I think Hanmano has been routed. He's got anti-air finally, but his ministry was torn down by those Gorgons, and that should be a wrap. How is he possibly going to come back from that one? Dude, there's so many Trojans that were made. Newt's planning on doom dropping inside that main base soon. And Hanmano just attacked his own Anseal.
I am a hero!
Amazing. Well, we've got more where that came from here. Extra base being made as well.
We are Legion!
No need to spam. Shambler. Can't believe you would do that. Welcome one and all. Old and new Cosmonarchs. We got plenty more action here in today's stream, so sit tight even after this game. We've got
this individual is a fraud.
We've got all sorts of stuff here.
Let's go Cosmonarchy. PR0 Nog Champ.
That's right. Thank you, Aquarist Gamer. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Pronog Champ indeed. Fraud Champ. Fraud Champ. 7 Vultures around. Hanmano desperately trying to hold on with just pure ground army. The writing is on the wall, though. That was a pretty cataclysmic moment there. He's got a lot of Madrigals shooting a lot of shots, but they had no protection. Their Anseals were used as target practice. Terran OP, says Hanmano. Newt has some opinions on whether Terran is OP, that's for sure. I like that he's just not responding to that, too. He's just like, yeah, I'm playing the game. All right, the Trojans have arrived to try to airlift this position. Only now is Hanmano teching up with Tier 2. His Atlas is on the way. His Vultures are ranging around and seeing how much damage they can do, but look at... Between the Gorgons and the Phalanxes. Oh, and those beautiful lobotomy mine hits. It's glorious. GG is called as the Doom Drop comes in. Newt is very happy to have made his landfall inside the main base of Hanmano. GG. That's a 2-0 for our more veteran Terran player here in Cosmonarchy. Hanmano, a recent convert, a StarCraft 2 South Korean pro. He is going to be sent to the Shadow Realm. All right, we're going to be going on to our grand final. A friendly face, Ziki from StarCraft 1. Hungarian Zerg is now going to face off against Newt. And that is an exciting time indeed. that'll be our final best of 3 for this Weekendwage. We've got another weekly tournament on the 5th of October coming up. And would you know it, it's the same map that we just saw. To the surprise of just about nobody. Now, Zeke already defeated Newt 2-0 earlier in the tournament. So that's already some food for thought for all of you, wondering if we're going to have the same sort of experience that we just saw with Newt 2-0. I don't know about that. It's going to be a hard-fought battle for him. We'll get our Twitch Gamba up for all y'all betters, and we will hop into our game. And it is going to be the grand final, indeed, of our Weekendwage. We've got Newt challenging our pro Zerg. He is in the bottom right. He is our electric blue Terran. Zeke in the top left is our forest green Zerg. We have over 100 playable colors, or player colors, in Cosmonarchy, so it's not just green and blue or whatever. It's very specific. Now, Zeke will most likely open Hydrith here. Think about it as like building a Hydra den without a pool. Yeah, it looks like he's just about ready to do that. And as he does, we'll see a Larvosk follow-up. That's like a mini hatchery that you make from a creep colony. Costs a lot of Vespene gas, though. Fulcrum coming up here, and that is going to be its own ordeal. As you can see, you don't need the barracks to make the factory equivalent. You just make the factory outright. You want to skip bio, you can. But I do like what Newt did in his first attempt against Zeke. He went vultures in the early game and then switched over to bio after that. Sort of like an inverse of what you see in Starcraft 1 TVZ right now, where a lot of mech switches come in at the top level. So that's kind of interesting to me. We'll see how that ends up shaping up over time as far as meta responses go. You got Shopkeeper Dog saying that Zerg is super easy to deal with, but Newt has been struggling. And I don't think Dog has played much against Zeke due to time zones. That'll be an interesting little clash of the Titans there, perhaps, in the matchup, as Zeke has been pretty hard to dethrone as a Terran. Larvosk finishes up here, and we are instantaneously going to see some Iziricors queued up. That's going to make it a little bit difficult for Newt to field bio against it. But once you get to past the super early game, your bio is more than capable of challenging the Iziricor base play. You just need like a lot of Harakans and Mavericks, basically. Firebats and Marines. Vultures are going to be a pretty good asset as well because they can kind of just do this little kiting dance. Dog overreacting to a balance change, of course. That makes sense. That checks out. Looks like Zeke's going to go and expand here. Star pad halfway complete for Newt. Hatcherosk on the way. Looking pretty nifty there. First mine hit is going to sort of spring Newt into some action. I like that he's trying to split. Oh, that's actually really nicely played there. No way. Zeke was like, well, I might as well scout and clear the last mine. So ends up not even killing the last vulture there. Really nice stuff done from Newt. Nice little nifty micro tricks. Mines don't do damage anymore. They stun. As you can see, they can still be quite effective, but they can also stun your own units. And it looks like it will be a Cyclops drop. Looks like only 3 Cyclops here. Maybe he'll slip a single vulture in with mines. Trojan nearly complete. It's a bit risky because if Zeke was going for a more military-focused opener, it would be a bit of a different story. It looks like he wants to make a... Oh, man. So this could actually kind of backfire. It really depends. We have just 3 Cyclops in there. I think if there are 4 Cyclops and you see a Circuit, you're probably pretty happy about that because you're basically just going to right-click that and kill all the workers around it with the splash damage. A decent number of vultures are shown. This kind of tracks for if your opponent has made a ministry, so Zeke shouldn't be too suspicious. And his Iziricors are actually going to get routed here without getting a single vulture kill, it looks like. Yeah, that's a little bit rough for him. He's starting to add his circuits at the front. That's going to be his Anti-surface defense. Now, his Oboleth might have spotted the Trojan. Yeah, indeed it did. So his units are now going to be torn between a rock and a hard place. This is a very sharp timing here from Newt. He's not going to bother attacking the anti-surface defense, and he's just going to charge into the main base as Hydras are hatching up. Oh, the Cyclops are dealing this friendly splash to themselves, and so those are not really a factor in this fight anymore. One Hydra goes down, and the Trojan just scoops up the Vultures that went in. It looks like a couple more Vultures tragically were rallied into this position and died, with full mines most likely. So Newt's attack doesn't end up fomenting the way that he wanted. He doesn't fully leave with the Vultures. Instead, he's going to go ahead and unload them. But they're very, very brittle right now, so he does need to just get the hell out of dodge. It's going to be a third Vulture rallied over here, I think. That's a tilter. Easy to correct your rally points in Cosmonarchy. You could box select multiple structures. You can put them on control group. So definitely an unforced error. He can try to repair the units that he's got, but really a big deal here is that he's going to need to do some kind of holding play here. How is he going to respond to a potential attack? Zeke might also just choose to build a nominal amount of military, as it seems like he's kind of doing right now. He's going to go for a Hydra drop, which is not as effective at killing workers as a more conventional Iziracore drop. And by the way, there's ant seals here. So when you have detection on a transport, you can see this little indicator of what's in there. So that helps out a little bit. But Newt's being a little bit lackadaisical on the reaction. I guess he's got Vultures here that are being repaired, so he can kind of do that in response. But a lot of them are pretty vulnerable, right? Those are the ones that failed the raid earlier. Ant seals will shield down the ones on the low ground. He's shown the Matador tech, but I don't think that's too bad. Flame tank has been achieved. Looks like only one Mason went down, so it's not the end of the world. Gonna get right back on harvesting Vespene there. Third base has been scouted out by the Trojan, but there's nothing in it to punish. And no workers to kill anyway. Looks like the Hydras are going to go back in for another look-see. Just as the mech army leaves, Newt has kind of let down his guard in this regard. Yeah, Masons are pulled off initially. Needs to send some units that direction. Yeah, this is more than enough to clean it. But, job is kind of done. Masons get back to mining. Vultures and Matador see off the drop. If Newt can hit before this turns into a Circuit, he can crush this base. There's not a great military count here for Zeke. Ant seals and Matadors are going to be very deadly as a combo. It's just really, really difficult for you to break through them. Not really that many, mid-range units in this composition, which is a bit of a concern. But he does shut down the third base, and that's essentially all he had to do. We've got ridge caps coming for Zeke. He's basically upgrading his ridges into geysers in terms of their Vespene per return. Normally, they only give you 3. Oh, it looks like Newt's actually pulled off of the ridge. I guess he must have been attacked again, or I don't know. That seems weird that he would have done that by accident, but see what else he wants to make. I think blackjacks go really nicely with the composition Newt has been making, but he doesn't want to pivot off of the Matador count. It just after a certain point, you get diminishing returns on your short-range units. You want some mid-range units. I guess Vultures could also do it, but we'll see how it goes. Oboleth still has 3 Hydras in it. Bit of a move out here from Zeke. He's got Bactyls out. Only 5 of them, not the biggest number. This Circuit little crawl here is not bad either. He's going to have to cancel this hatch, though. Has no units over here to try to deal with it. Cancels it just in time. Not so many units back at home here for Newt. His one Matador will finally be sniped out there. Ah, interesting. Zeke is adding a pool. We don't see this too often. Now, it does feel like this army is going to get clotheslined. I can't really see Zeke evacuating this army in any capacity, so it will be run down. Matador is very, very good versus Bactyls. By the way, that Oboleth still has the 3 Hydras in it, so he might as well drop them into the enemy base. Is he going to do so? I don't know. Matadors are going to chase after it, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal. Yeah, some of these Hydras have been a very big nuisance. Look at it. Look at this. How do you deal with that? Big army move out, though. Newt wants to see if he can crack this open. But look at the circuit spread. It's going to be really hard for Newt to engage in. His Anseals are already shredded in terms of their shielding. And the Matadors are slowly being burst down by the Hydras. Not so many Bactyls. Might not matter too much. We got Vultures and Goliaths here as well to try to deal with all of this chaff from the Zerg. But as the Matadors fall, I think you do need to cycle back and maybe see if you can stamp down this third base. I don't think it's quite likely, though. Newt adding a third base on location is very risky. He's kind of hoping that he can delay this army move out from Ziki fast enough, but there's a lot of Hydras and a lot of Bactyls. He's only got Vultures back at home, plus those Matadors that gave chase to the Hydra drop, and it just feels like his economy was hurt quite a bit by the drop, that otherwise his composition wasn't as effective. Down goes the Trojan at long last, but it's done its job, for scouting at least. Ah! Traffic jam. Yeah, I think this Fulcrum here needs to be lifted off and probably moved, like, over here. He's adding a couple more. Palladium is done as well. If he gets some Phalanx out, I think he'll be in very, very good position. But he might not have enough time. Laying some more mines, getting the Matadors out. Yeah, it's going to be really hard for Ziki to push in right now. His Avaleth did his Avaleth escape, actually? There wasn't really any anti-air, so I can't see what would have killed it. Fourth base is complete at the double gas area, but not saturated. Fifth base on the way for Ziki, and sixth. Top right and the 9 o'clock. This is the dangerous part of facing off against Ziki, man. You just can't leave him alone, it feels like. Zorka Shred complete, goes straight for the Ulgorg evolution. That means he's going to be able to turn his Zorius into Ultra Cores, our Ultralisk equivalent. He's also going to be able to make the Lurker equivalent, the Lakizalisk, but doesn't seem to be opting into that right now. Really what he wants is that crazy power that the Ultra Core gives you. As a reminder, this is a best of 3, so after this game, we'll go at least one more. Could be a 2-0. Ziki looking favored right now, but Newt not quite beaten out immediately. Just doesn't look very easily winnable for him, you know? This force at 6 o'clock is definitely going to slow the growth, and the Avaleth is still here, that's for sure. And it's going to be a little bit tricky for Newt to push in. But there's no melee yet, so it's really hard for Ziki to actually kill the army. That's kind of the standstill that we find ourselves in. But another round of Matadors might change that. Tier 2 now started for Ziki. He's not content to sit on Ulgorg tech. He's double upgraded everything, or he's single upgraded every node, but never nary an Apex strain to be found, that's for sure. Producing his advanced units back at home. Right about now, it does feel like Newt is, you know, still in the game. He's on 3 base. Could definitely use more saturation here. But he is going up against a 6 base Zerg, soon to be. I guess he has to saturate this 5th base first. Zethakor sniped out at 3. Scouts an army movement. I love the Kagris, the Circuith push here. It makes it a bit harder to just A-move blindly. Only Zethakor is moving up, so they're not going to be able to do much. Tier 2 pops, meanwhile, for Ziki. We'll see what he wants to switch into. My money's on the Travel, but it could also be a Spire. Now he's going to try to push through here, but there's a lot of mines, and he also walks right into it to the point where it stuns his Avaleth as well. So it looks like base number 6 will end up falling. Not going to be able to get that off the ground, and the Spire is indeed the choice of Ziki. Yeah, this army doesn't really shoot up very well, so going Mass Muta here would be a very big help. And I feel like Ziki kind of has intuited that. That was also the best base for Ziki to lose because it had almost no workers. and it slowed Newt's army down to the point where he can't move against any other good targets, right? He could try to attack this position, but feels like it'll be difficult. Newt was going to push his luck here, and it looks like he'll be able to clean this with no reinforcements coming down for Zeke. We do have those 9 pairs of mutas on the way. Go straight to 11 pairs, actually. Yeah, each number of muta here is actually 2x because they come 2 out of the egg, since they come out later than in stock StarCraft. One way to give them a little bit more power. Atlas is complete. Newt is also at tier 2. We'll see what he wants to pivot into. So 5-base Zerg versus a 3-base Terran, sending his treasury out. Matadors are going to help rend the armor of the Ultra Cores. And here come the mutas. That's the real big issue. That's the unanswered question right now. Great screenshot fodder, that's for sure. But there's not that much here for Newt. He had nothing for the anti-air, and the corpses are being munched on by the Ultra Cores. Oh, the big mine hit. The big mine hit kind of goes both ways. We got more mutas screaming in. 22 of them. Humongous mine hits here. Cyclops have been scrambled. They'll punch through some of the mutas, but oh, that's a big hit. But I don't think he's going to have anything left, anything remaining. He pans over there, but there's nothing there. Newt is out of here. Zeke was upgrading his Spire even. That is a pretty sick game. Sick performance from Zeke. He knew exactly what that composition was lacking. It was anti-area. No Madrigals, no Blackjacks, no Cyclops, no Goliaths, nothing. And I think a large portion of that is due to the fact that Newt was so down and out when it came to the economy in the early stages of the game. The drops kind of haranguing him. Pretty cool. Pretty cool to see that there's a fight in both players, but Zeke having that strategic understanding. Love to see that. It sounds so simple, but we gotta call it out as beneficial when it does happen. Ladies and gentlemen, Gamba is up. This could be our last map. Newt has selected Near Impact. If Newt wins here, Zeke will select the Decider. And Newt is in the bottom right as our Turquoise Terran, with Zeke in the top left as our Tyrian Purple Zerg. Hope you guys are enjoying this Cosmonarchy stream. Dog lived in the chat. Welcome, welcome. You guys want to support show matches like the Bonoth versus DeWalt one that we had semi-recently, you can donate via the pinned links in the chat on both YouTube and Twitch. Also in the description or the panels on YouTube and Twitch respectively. That's streamlabs.com/Pronago. Much appreciated to support future foundational show matches, because up next we will have Thermal versus Indy. Some StarCraft 2 influencers, casters, players, pros. You know how it is. Spreading the word. Spreading the good word. Going to be the patented Zeke opener here, Iziracor, on the cards. He's going to open Den into Larvosk, make 4 Iziracors, and move across the map with them. Although I have seen sometimes Zeke will somehow intuit that it's going to be a more passive opening from his opponent, and he'll go 1 Iziracor into an expansion, or maybe it's like 2 Iziracors into an expansion. That last game was a bit more middle of the road. He wasn't as pedal to the metal with it. Second Fulcrum very quickly here for Newt. He clearly wants to up the ante with the Vultures. Doesn't want to do anything too fancy here. I'd say game 1 delivered. It had some cinema. It had some very cool moments. But if Newt can crush Zeke here in game 2 and force a Decider, that would be pretty sick as well. First Iziracor out and ready to go. Already passing by the Vulture. Second one will catch it. We could get a little bit of economic damage here for our Terran. The Ovaleth is coming. Good burrow there. This does slow down any sort of move across the map, but Newt was probably hoping to get a Droleth or so. Good little pivots back and forth. Obviously, the Vulture is much faster than the Iziracor. Yeah, it even forced a recall on it. The Ovaleth wasn't spotted there by Newt. So the drop is going to be good. His own star pad on the way. I think this is going to be another, you know, Cyclops drop or some such. I don't hate the play. I don't hate the play. It's just a question of does he know that he's going to get dropped himself. Timing won't favor him to slow down the expansion. Izira Core pivoting to go straight across the chasm here and go for the main base. It's actually not going to be a Cyclops drop, though. It will be Vultures instead. Izira Cores are pretty hard to deal with, to be honest with you. Oh, does he want to feint with the... I think that's what he's actually going to do here. We'll see, though. Vultures descend upon him, trying to slow him down. Cause more targets, reduce the damage onto the Masons. Only kills one of those Izira Cores, but the other two are very low. What does he want to do now? He's going to send his Masons back to work. He's going to get his Vultures into action. The Trojan has nothing in it, remember? And back behind this, we have Izira Cores, a Circuith, one Hydra. This could be broken open. The Vultures actually meet the Trojan. It could be a very powerful elevator play where if he doesn't go immediately and he waits until all of his Vultures are on the other side, he can absolutely do some damage here. You can overwhelm the Circuith with pure Volt. He doesn't unload some of those Vultures. That could be a critical mistake. Back at home, he is under attack. Only one Vulture attacking on the defense. Two Vultures still in that Trojan. Does he understand that he needs to unload them? Easy to lose track of what's happening in the middle of all of this, and I think, well, he's done some damage, but Ziki is clearly still ahead, only now maybe realizing he had the two Vultures in there that whole time. Goliath's being made now, try to shut down this Ovileth once and for all. The Star Pad was made, the Trojan was made, but the damage was not really found. Looks like he picked two workers. Now, 3 Vultures will one-shot a Droleth, so there is that. Ooh, so damn close. One stutter step probably would have sealed the fate of that Ovileth. And Ziki's really deadly with it. Scoops him up just in time to avoid death. Once again, we have to say this favors the Zerg. Only now is an expansion going to come in. And at a pretty big cost. Only 16 workers. One of them is married to that construction effort. Ziki, on the other hand, closing in on 30 workers. 4 Hydras in production. Low military count, but he doesn't really need it, does he? Oh, and that Mason is so low. In theory, the one Izira Core could actually kill it, but I don't think Ziki's thinking about that right now. Oh, also the Goliaths are nearby, right? Like, they could do something. Jujictile. Well, you can try to slow down the expansion rate. That's pretty good. Good morning, Wolfma. It is definitely not morning here. It's technically evening in America, but welcome, welcome. In East Coast America, I should say. Pool coming down. We got the ski backed on the way. Third base at 9 o'clock. Only now is the natural being put up. I mean, this is dire for Arturin. He's going to unload his Vultures, but look. Look, there's circuits everywhere. He gets this one token worker kill out of all 3 of those Vultures. And Ziki may be provoked to hit the front. We've got pure Vault and nothing else. There's an Ovileth to snipe the mines and deny them any sort of efficaciousness. Scrapyard is done, but so is Newt, it feels like. I can't imagine him coming back from here. Was Izira Core staying alive? The Hydra's kind of jousting for a little bit more power. The elevator play was pretty nifty. I think Newt had something going on here, but he just took way too much damage to the drops from Ziki, and that's where Zeke consistently gets a lot of value. Third base done. Doesn't need to make any workers at this point, though, to be fair. Matadors are coming out. Newt knows his chances for first place rest on the outcome of this match. He's going to try to charge the front, but there's too many Hydras for the Matadors to find too much value. One of them is stuck behind all the Vultures anyway, and they aren't even laying the mines. Man is not hot. Newt looks like he is going to be run over here with the next round of Zerg units that come down the front. GG. Zeke takes first place. Zeke was Grover. You're goddamn right, Shopkeeper Dog. I'm glad that you also have fever dreams about Cosmonarchy, and I'm not the only one. That would be a little bit weird if it was I was the only one, you know? All right, guys. We've gone through all of the matches here in Weekendwage. We've covered the fact that we have another Weekendwage coming up. It's going to be a very good time. I highly recommend everybody join our Discord server and pop in there and sign up for the tournament. If you like the BSL Weekly Cups or what have you, it's very similar to that. It's going to be on the 5th of October, so you guys have a little bit of time to plan, and it's at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Central European Time. It's a good time. I'm sure Zeke will be there. Oya might be there. We got a lot of new faces that are going to sign up as well. It's going to be a good time there. But I hope you guys are enjoying all of that. Now, we are going to go ahead and see if we can raid somebody. Since DeWalt raided us, we've got some viewers left over. I think we can go ahead and pop in. It looks like Worst is streaming. So I think we will go ahead and raid him. Worst 21. Pop on into Twitch if you would like to raid Worst. He was interested in playing some Cosmo, so he might be more inclined after this, you know what I mean? So GG's, thanks for watching, and thanks for supporting Cosmonarchy. We'll see you guys next time.